Hey guys, it's Molly from Goblin House Tarot. Happy fall, it's here. It's the most wonderful time of the year. This is my absolute favorite time of year. I love cozy things. I love creepy things. I don't get like a proper fall where I live because I live in the southeast of the United States, but I can pretend. And today I wanted to show you some of the decks that I like to pull out this time of year and what I pair them with. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first deck is this deck. This is an out of print deck, actually. It's a French deck. It's Les Tarot Celtique by Laura Tuin. It is out of print. It comes like this, but I found there are still copies out there. I got my copy used on Amazon France. So, you know, the guidebook is in French, just FYI, but Google Translate exists. You can just hold your phone up to it with the camera and it'll translate it right before your eyes like magic. This is a tarot deck that I actually use like an oracle. It definitely goes its own way for sure. It has its own system. So I don't really bother trying to fit it into the traditional tarot structure. It's got very Fae energy for me, very kind of in the woods energy. So the deck that I like to use at this time of year with this is the Hush Tarot. And the Hush Tarot for me, actually, you know what? Oh, man, this lamp, it's gonna kill me, isn't it? What happens if I turn this light out? It's not great, but it's better. Okay, you know what? We're gonna roll with this. It's fine. All right, let me take some of these away, kind of even that stack out a little bit. Okay. As I was saying, I've actually reworked my Hush Tarot a little bit. I've reordered it into things that work a little bit better for me. It's not it's not a deck that's impossible to read with by any means, but it's different, and that's fine. I don't mind that. But there are definitely things that make more sense to me in certain ways. So I just took a gold Sharpie and colored over the ones that I wanted to change and made them what I want. I left some of them as they are. And I changed some other ones. And this deck is also, the Hush Tarot has kind of Fae energy to me, and it's that kind of decay that I like at this time of year. And I think it works really, really well with the Celtic Tarot by Laura Tuin, which I'm showing to you right here. I don't know, the artwork, it kind of goes together a little bit, I guess, but for me, it's more about the vibe. And I think they work together really well. So that is the Hush Tarot by Jeremy Hush, and this one, Les Tarot Celtique by Laura Tuin. And like I said, there are copies of this deck that still exist out there. They are findable. So if you like it, check it out. See if you can. I found it for a not exorbitant price. Like I said, on Amazon France, I got it used, but you know, I haven't checked lately to see what it's going for. So, you know, give it a try, see what you think. Okay, next decks are probably not going to be a huge surprise to anyone who likes fall. I love to pull out the Woodland Wardens deck at this time of year. I've edged mine. I trimmed mine a little bit just to get the borders a little smaller. I like the borders on it, but they were a little too big for my taste, so I just took a little bit off. I love this artist, Jessica Rue. I have a couple of her prints in my house, and I think this Oracle deck, this is actually an all-rounder for me. I use this deck all year round, but I especially love to use it in the fall. And the deck I like to pair it with is the Three Trees Tarot. Nope, it's Oak, Ash, and Thorn by Three Trees Tarot. This is the OG version. I know there are new versions out now of all of their decks, but this is the only one I have, and I think this is the only one I want. I looked at Smoke, Ash, and Embers, the dragon one, and I love it, but honestly, I'm probably only ever going to use this one. So this is the one I stuck with. But anyway, I just think the artwork with both of these decks is incredibly sweet. It's very beautiful. I love this. Snake and Fern is one of my favorite cards just visually in the Woodland Wardens deck. I think it's one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. These decks are like pure September to me, kind of that late summer, early fall, where everything is just like starting to get a little bit orange and brown. Like I said, I don't really get too much of that here. We don't get a lot of, you know, spectacular leaf color where I live. The leaves just kind of slowly turn brown and then fall off. But I feel very autumnal when I use these decks. It's my favorite time of year. And this is one of my favorite deck combos. This is one of my favorite moon cards of all time, just because I think this to me is the cutest card in the deck. I mean, the entire deck is in the running for the cutest card in the deck, but this one right here is so freaking cute. I just want to put his whole head in my mouth. Oh my God. Okay. That is the Woodland Wardens Oracle by Jessica Rue and the Oak, Ash, and Thorn by Three Trees Tarot, Stephanie Burrows, I think, and Adam Ehlers, my bad. Okay, next up, let's go a little spooky. Let's go a little spooky. This is a teeny tiny little oracle that I got on Etsy one day when I was bored and just looking at oracle decks on Etsy. This is the Victorian Phantasmagoria oracle deck. It's very small. Oh, it came with this little plastic scarab beetle thingy, resin, I guess, I don't know. It's very small. It's got, come on, oh, for Christ's sake, get out. Jesus, mother of God. Okay. It just comes with this little fold out pamphlet thing that tells you, you know, some keywords if you want. I tend to not use it because I like to make my own keywords. I mean, there are keywords on the cards, but this is a photographic deck. There aren't that many cards. I've edged mine. I don't remember how many cards there are. There's more than 20, but not too many more. But it's altered Victorian photography, and it's just creepy and weird, and I love it so much. And therefore, I love to pair it with my Madame Lydia. This is Madame Lydia Wilhelmina's Tarot of Monsters, the Macabre and Autumn Scenes, I think. I edged mine just because I wanted to. This deck is out of print at the moment. I don't know if it will come back into print at any point. It has. I thought it was out of print forever, and then it came back and I snagged a copy. So if this is a deck that you especially want but just haven't been able to get your hands on, keep your eyes out. Check her website, I guess, because sometimes it comes back. I'm not sure. Anyway, just the photo manipulation in this deck. This is a classical art deck, but it's been altered and collaged a little bit. And I really, really like how these two, oh, sorry, this card makes me laugh. How these two decks kind of play with each other. They have the same energy to me, just the same, like something's a little not right, you know? Something's just a little bit off. That's also one of my, I love to read horror books this time of year. I am not a horror film person, absolutely not, get away from me. But horror books, especially folk horror, gothic horror, or anything kind of mushroom fungal horror, that's for me. And these two decks kind of give me a weird combination of all of those vibes. Just a little, you know, something is slightly off. So I always have fun playing with this one at this time of year. Weird spooky season, weird Victorian weirdos. I don't know. Yeah, like what's going on here? Oh, this card always creeps me out. I don't know why. I think it's because her entire eye is black, like there's no white around her eye. It's just, I don't know, it's freaky weird. So that is Madame Lydia Wilhelmina's tarot of the very long name and the Victorian Phantasmagoria, what is it called? Phantasmagoria Oracle. Let me just pop that back in the box real quick. Oh, got a couple stray cards here. This little guy back in here. Neat, neat. Okay. Let's go sweet and beautiful again. That's what I'm in the mood for now. This is the Sacred Wood Oracle by Annie Gerard. This is some of the most beautiful art I've ever seen. Oh, here comes the cat. I'm gonna have to put her out in a minute, probably. We'll see how she does. These are all oil paintings, and it is some of the most stunningly intricate, most beautiful and detailed work I've ever seen in my life. I've edged my copy in this kind of grayish green to go with the backs a little bit. And just the coloring of this deck, it's not really autumn themed, but it just feels, you know, darker half of the year to me. It feels very, very close, dark, dense woods, that kind of thing. And I like to use it with this, which is the Folkloric Forest Tarot by Lennox Reese. Oh, Maggie, baby girl, you can't be in here. What are you doing? Sweetheart, can you go away, please? Can you go away, please? Okay, should we put you out? Okay, I'm back. As I was saying, the Folkloric Forest Tarot, by Lennox Reese is a deck that I like to use with the Sacred Wood Oracle. It has that same, it's another, curated art deck, and it's just so beautifully done. And it has that same kind of lush, dark, foresty vibe. Am I even straight in my frame? You know what? I don't care. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, I just think these two decks go so beautifully together. And I'm not a huge deck pairing. I mean, I use Oracle and Tarot together quite frequently. I'm not that picky about what Oracle decks I use with which tarot decks. Let me turn on my light again a little bit. Let's see. No, it's still gonna glare on this. All right. I thought maybe because it wasn't a shiny cardstock, but no. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm not that picky about what decks I use with what in terms of aesthetics, but for whatever reason in the fall, I have different tastes, I guess. And I really want, I guess fall, because fall is so, man, I hate using the word vibe constantly, but I don't really know what else to say. It's a vibe heavy season for me. I'm very moody. I'm a very moody person. And I feel very moody in the fall. I want everything around me to reflect kind of that autumnal energy. And that translates to me wanting my decks to go together perfectly. And so these two really do. I think they're beautiful. I love them. And that's all I'm gonna say about it. Okay, let's move on. That was the Sacred Wood Oracle by Annie Gerard and the Folkloric Forest Tarot by Lennox Reese. Put these back together a little bit. Where can I put this out of the way? Let's put it right here. Have I done these? I did these, I did these. Oh, okay. 3 left. Let's move on. Okay. This is one of my most cherished Oracle decks. This is Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched. It is a folk horror Oracle deck by Severin Films. It's a really small deck. It's The main deck is only 20 cards. I also have an expansion pack, which is also 20 cards. So I have 40 cards. You can currently buy this from their website. Sometimes it's not available, sometimes it is. It just depends on, I guess, when they have stock and when they don't. But this deck was created to go along with a documentary by Severin Films of the same name, Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched, and it's about British folk horror films. And like I said, I'm not a big horror film person, so I have never seen any of the films, but I love to read folk horror. I love the vibes of folk horror. There I go saying vibes again. And this deck is just, it's really special. I never see anyone talk about it. I don't think it's particularly well known. But the deck that I like to use this one with is the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot. And Pagan Otherworlds is a deck that I use all year round, and I never ever pair it with anything. This is a deck that I don't use with Oracle generally. I just do straight up tarot readings with this deck, no Oracle at all. But in the fall, I do like to pair it with this deck specifically. This is the only Oracle deck I ever pair this with. Because to me, Pagan Otherworlds also, hold on, I need to move some stuff out of the way, also has some kind of folk horror-ish vibes in a way that I can't totally explain. Just that kind of ancient feeling, kind of British Isles vibe. Just the paganness of it all. Like this guy, this Knight of Wands, like tell me that's not out of a folk horror novel, like The Gallows Pole or Withered Hill or something. I mean, look at him. So conceptually, I just think these decks go really nicely together. Not particularly aesthetically, but again, I don't really care about that. I mean, I do in the fall, but for the most part, nah, I don't mind that it's a bit strange. And they have like the coolest titles. Like the deck is set up so the title of the movie is down at the bottom. It's Pet Sematary. And then up here is the title of the card, which is The Sour Earth. Like, what does that even mean? That's so cool. There is a little guidebook with meanings. I like to just kind of make my own meanings, you know? Oh man. Like, I'm sorry, if a fucked up rabbit doesn't say folk horror to you, then I don't know what does. I mean, is this not like T. Kingfisher, What Moves the Dead vibes? Come on. Yeah, man, I love this deck so much. Okay, so that is Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched, a super cool folk horror oracle that I adore by Severin Films. This is one of my favorite cards, The Ritual, cool as hell. And the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot, which everyone knows. Let's see, where can I put these? Oh man, I've got a pile of stuff everywhere. I'm gonna put this back in the box. I'll probably use it later today. All right, 2 more pairs to go. So let's go with this one. This is another oracle that I actually use all year round. This is the Graven Images Oracle. It's a deck of cemetery photography. I edged mine in this like gray color, and I actually wound up, I rebacked mine in this just kind of like black vinyl. Not because I don't like the backs, I'm fine with the backs, but because this cardstock is like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like the consistency of a damp cereal box. It's just not good. And so I like rebacking a deck with really flimsy cardstock can make it much more robust and able to hold up to a lot of wear and tear. And I use this deck a lot, like I said, all year round. but it gets a special friend during this time of year. So that special friend, if I can reach it, is the Bohemian Gothic Tarot. This deck actually has multiple special friends at this time of year. This is a non-exhaustive list of all the fall and spooky season decks that I have. I also really like to bring out the Will Worthington decks like Druidcraft and the Wildwood Tarot. I like to bring those out at this time of year. I also play with my Memento Mori a lot, my Memento Mori Oracle, which is like, no joke, this thick, because I have the main deck and then I have 2 expansion packs. But the Memento Mori is also, that's another all year round deck for me. So, and I just didn't feel like messing with a huge stack of cards today, so I didn't bring it in. But anyway, this is a deck of cemetery photography, like I said, and this is the Bohemian Gothic Tarot by Baba Studios. I think it might be out of print now, but you know, copies pop up on eBay, etc., usually for insane prices. But, you know, once in a while, you find one and you can get lucky. I bought this from the production company, from Baba Studios, while it was still in print. But I know that there are definitely different versions, copies of different versions of this floating around. Oh, there's a glare. I know. Well, there's not really much I can do about that, except get better lighting, which I refuse to do because I simply can't be bothered. I'm not going to, and that's okay. I love Gothic vibes. During this time of year, I love to read Gothic horror novels. Rebecca is one of my all-time favorite books. And this is one of the ultimate Gothic deck pairings, I think. Doesn't get much more Gothic than cemeteries and weird skeletons in stone halls and creepy Nosferatu like dudes. Oh, I'm messing up my piles over here. Son of a bitch. Get back there. Okay. Oh, I can hear my cat jingle jangling on the other side of the door. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's wrap this up. I've got one more before he busts in here and makes a nuisance of himself. I can hear his collar. He has a bell, so that I know where he is at all times, because he likes to attack my other cat, the one that you saw who came up here. She is a victim, and he is not allowed to be in stealth mode. I need to know his whereabouts at all times. Okay, last deck. Sorry, this is another out of print one. This is the Gothic Tarot by Layla Wendell. This is a majors only deck. And this is another one that is a tarot that I use as an oracle, mostly because it is majors only. That's how I use my majors only decks. I just use them like oracle decks. This is another cemetery photography deck, but it's also a collage deck. And it's really beautiful and super cool and goth and weird. And so I like to use it with the ultimate goth deck, even more goth than the Bohemian Gothic, in my opinion. And that is the Lacrimosa Tarot by Rose Bay. I got the unedged copy because I'm cheap and I just edged it myself. Yeah, these two decks together I think are absolutely stunning. I mean, I don't think I can say anything about the Lacrimosa Tarot that hasn't already been said by other people who absolutely love it. It's so cleverly done. It's beautiful. It's smart. It's lush. It is a joy to read with. My cat is trying to dig a hole through the door into this room. Look, man, see, look how good these look together. God damn. Whew. I love tarot, you guys. I love it so much. It's like little tiny art galleries. I mean, look how good this is. It's so good. Look at that. Ah. I love this strength card because it looks like they need strength to get over their hangover. It makes me laugh. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. This is also one of my favorite times of year on TarotTube because I love to see other people's fall decks and spooky decks and gothic decks, creepy, weird, seasonal decks. So I'm out there. I'm lurking around. I'm watching all your videos. I love it. It's for me. So I'm gonna leave it right here on this beautiful visual right here. And happy Halloween, happy fall season, happy Samhain. Enjoy all the fun things that you get to do this time of year. And thanks for stopping by, and I will see you guys later. Bye.